Being a people pleaser can be one of the biggest obstacles to building wealth. While it feels good to make others happy, constantly putting other people's needs above your own often leads to missed opportunities, burnout, and even financial loss. The truth is, people pleasers don't make money because they prioritize approval over progress, comfort over confrontation, and short-term validation over long-term success. Let's break this down and explore why that mindset holds you back and how you can shift your approach to unlock financial freedom. When you're a people pleaser, you often say yes to things that don't serve your goals. You take on extra work at the office without asking for a raise because you don't want to upset your boss. You loan money to friends or family that you can't afford to lose because you're afraid of being labeled selfish. Or you undercharge for your skills and services because you feel guilty charging what you're truly worth. All of these behaviors come at a cost, not just to your finances, but also to your time, energy, and self-respect. One of the biggest traps for people pleasers is the fear of setting boundaries. You might worry that saying no will damage relationships or make people think less of you. But here's the hard truth. People who respect you will understand your boundaries, and those who don't were likely taking advantage of you anyway. Learning to say no is not just about protecting your time and energy, it's about valuing yourself. When you say no to things that don't align with your goals, you create space for opportunities that do. Another issue is the tendency to avoid difficult conversations. Negotiating a raise, discussing a business deal, or standing firm on your pricing requires courage. But people pleasers often avoid these conversations because they fear conflict or rejection. The problem is, by avoiding these moments, you leave money on the table. Think about it. If you don't advocate for yourself, who will? Learning to negotiate and stand up for your worth is a skill that can literally change your financial trajectory. People pleasers also struggle with the need to be liked by everyone. But here's the thing, being liked doesn't pay the bills. Successful people understand that not everyone will approve of their choices, and that's okay. They focus on earning respect, not approval. This shift in mindset is crucial. When you stop worrying about what others think, you free yourself to make bold decisions that prioritize your financial goals. Another common pitfall is overgiving. While generosity is a virtue, there's a fine line between being generous and being taken advantage of. If you're always picking up the tab, volunteering for unpaid work, or bending over backward to help others at the expense of your own needs, you're draining your resources. To build wealth, you need to strike a balance, be generous, but not at the cost of your own stability. Let's talk about the guilt factor. Many people pleasers feel guilty about earning more money, especially if they come from a background where wealth was stigmatized. You might think, who am I to make this much? Or what if people think I'm greedy? But wealth isn't just about accumulating money, it's about creating freedom, options, and the ability to help others on your terms. Shifting your perspective can help you embrace wealth as a tool for good, not something to feel guilty about. So, how do you break free from the people-pleasing trap and start building wealth? The first step is awareness. Recognize the patterns in your behavior that are holding you back. Are you afraid to charge what you're worth? Do you avoid asking for what you need? Once you identify these tendencies, you can start to change them. Next, practice setting boundaries. Start small, say no to something minor like a coffee date you don't have time for, and build from there. Over time, you'll gain confidence in asserting yourself. Remember, every no is a yes to something more important. Another key is to focus on value, not validation. Instead of trying to please everyone, think about how you can provide value, whether it's through your work, your business, or your investments. When you focus on value, you create opportunities for growth and success. It's also important to invest in your own growth. People pleasers often prioritize others' needs at the expense of their own development. Use your time and resources to learn new skills, expand your network, and explore opportunities that align with your goals. People pleasers tend to avoid risks because they fear failure or disappointing others. But financial success often comes from taking calculated risks, whether it's starting a side hustle, investing in the stock market, or negotiating a better deal. Playing it safe may keep you in the good graces of others, but it also keeps you stuck in the same financial patterns. Building wealth requires stepping outside your comfort zone and being okay with the fact that not everyone will approve of your choices. A subtle but significant issue is emotional spending to gain approval. People pleasers may overspend on gifts, dinners, or events to maintain relationships or impress others. They might also shy away from budgeting because it feels restrictive or because they feel guilty for saying no to social events. Over time, these habits erode wealth-building efforts. To break free, align your spending with your values, not other people's expectations. Be strategic, invest in relationships that matter, not ones that drain your resources. When your life revolves around pleasing others, it's easy to lose sight of your own financial goals. Maybe you've dreamed of saving for a home, building a business, or retiring early, but those dreams stay on hold because you're too busy catering to others. To break the cycle, you need to clearly define your goals and prioritize them unapologetically. Write them down, track your progress, and remind yourself daily that your goals are just as important as anyone else's needs. Many people pleasers struggle with charging fair prices for their services or asking for higher pay at work. They might worry that raising rates or negotiating a salary increase will make them seem greedy or pushy. This mindset keeps you stuck in a cycle of being overworked and underpaid. Successful people know their value and aren't afraid to demand fair compensation. Start small, raise your rates slightly or practice negotiating, and gradually build confidence in your worth. People pleasers often feel the need to maintain appearances, buying the latest gadgets, upgrading their wardrobe, or living in a nicer apartment to fit in with peers. This kind of keeping up with the Joneses behavior keeps you in a paycheck-to-paycheck cycle and prevents you from investing in long-term wealth-building strategies. Real wealth comes from living below your means and investing the difference, not impressing others with material possessions. If you're always saying yes to helping others, whether it's taking on extra projects at work, babysitting for a friend, or doing unpaid labor, you leave little time for your own wealth-building efforts. This behavior doesn't just drain your energy. It also distracts you from focusing on opportunities that could increase your income. Start asking yourself, will this action move me closer to my financial goals, or is it just another distraction? People pleasers often feel guilty about spending money on themselves, especially for personal growth. But investing in yourself, whether it's through education, mentorship, or health, is one of the smartest ways to build wealth. Wealthy people understand that personal growth leads to higher earning potential and greater opportunities. Stop seeing self-investment as selfish. Instead, see it as a necessary step to achieving your financial and life goals. Finally, surround yourself with people who encourage and challenge you. Being around supportive, like-minded individuals can help you break free from the need for external validation. These people will respect your boundaries, cheer you on, and remind you of your worth. The journey from people-pleasing to wealth-building isn't easy, but it's worth it. When you stop seeking approval and start valuing yourself, you unlock the freedom to pursue your goals unapologetically. And that freedom, it's priceless. So take the first step today. Start saying no, set those boundaries, and watch how your life and your bank account begin to change.